What if I told you that the financial event we have been waiting for, the one that has been prophesied, debated, and dismissed for over a decade, is not just happening, that it is happening right now at this very moment, and that the proof is no longer in obscure internet forums or cryptic banker memos, but in the cold, hard, undeniable data of completed financial transactions. I need you to understand the gravity of what I am about to lay out for you. This is not a drill, this is not a simulation, and this is certainly not another baseless rumor designed to get your hopes up. What I have in front of me, corroborated by 3 separate, highly placed, and impeccably vetted sources deep within the world of private high finance, is the ultimate confirmation that the Tier 4B exchange window is officially, verifiably, and irreversibly open for business. And the initial rates being reported for the Iraqi Dinar and the Vietnamese Dong are so astronomically high, so far beyond even the most optimistic projections from last week, that they effectively rewrite the entire economic narrative for 2 nations and for every single person holding these currencies. The Iraqi Dinar, according to transaction confirmations that have been flashed across my desk in the last 90 minutes, is now trading within this secured private financial network at a rate that completely and utterly invalidates its old program rate, a number that positions it not as a recovering currency but as a dominant, asset-backed global powerhouse, a direct reflection of the nation's immense oil reserves and its newly solidified geopolitical standing. Simultaneously, and this is a critical point that confirms the synchronized nature of this event, the Vietnamese Dong has achieved a parallel, record-shattering valuation, a number that finally acknowledges Vietnam's explosive, manufacturing-driven economy, its strategic positioning in the new global supply chain, and its deliberate decoupling from the old financial order. These are not isolated incidents. This is a coordinated surgical strike on the outdated global financial system. And the fact that both currencies are moving in lockstep within the same exclusive Tier 4B environment is the single most important piece of evidence we have ever received that the global currency reset is not a future event to anticipate, but a present moment reality to navigate. The term Tier 4B itself has been shrouded in mystery, often spoken of in whispers, but today we are defining it with absolute clarity. It is a private, electronic bilateral exchange platform, a walled garden of high finance that exists completely outside of the public forex markets you can access on your trading app. A network designed specifically for this moment, to facilitate the exchange of strategically revalued currencies for a pre-qualified group of holders without causing instantaneous and catastrophic volatility in the public-facing markets. It is the financial equivalent of a stealth bomber operating silently and unseen, accomplishing its mission before the wider world even knows what has happened. The individuals who are currently accessing this tier are reporting a process that is both breathtakingly efficient and shrouded in the highest levels of non-disclosure. But the outcome is always the same: a life-altering wealth transfer at the confirmed new exchange rates. This means that while the world at large, and even your local bank manager, still sees the dinar and dong at their old comatose values, a select group of people who were prepared and who had their financial channels pre-aligned are right now, as I speak these words, exchanging their currency at rates that were once the stuff of dreams. This is the great divergence, the moment where the 2 financial realities, the old world and the new world, split apart, and you are being given a front row seat to the birth of the new paradigm. The intelligence we are gathering is fluid and dynamic, with new confirmations landing every few minutes, which is precisely why you cannot afford to look away from this screen for even a second. You need to hit that subscribe button and pound the notification bell into dust, because the information I am about to share in the next segment will detail the exact step-by-step process you must follow to ensure you are not left behind in the old system, waiting for a signal that has already been sent. Now that you understand the seismic reality of the Tier 4B activation and the confirmed record-shattering rates for the dinar and dong, your mind is undoubtedly racing with a single critical question: what is the tangible, mechanical process that transforms the numbers on my screen into generational wealth in my bank account? And what are the proven, actionable steps I must take right now to navigate this system successfully? Let me be brutally honest with you: the window of opportunity, while open, is not indefinite, and the difference between those who navigate this transition seamlessly and those who get caught in the bureaucratic crossfire will be determined entirely by their adherence to a clear, discipline, and intelligence-driven protocol. The first and most non-negotiable step is to immediately cease all public discussion about your holdings. The era of speculating in open forums or on social media platforms is over, as the security and integrity of your exchange process now depend on operational discretion, principle that is being enforced with extreme prejudice within the Tier 4B environment. Your next move is to activate your pre-established financial channel, which is not your standard retail bank teller, but rather the specific pre-vetted point of contact you should have already identified, whether that is a private wealth manager at a Tier 1 institution, a designated attorney representing a private exchange platform, or a direct contact within a redemption center that has been pre-authorized to interface with this network. If you have not yet established this channel, the situation becomes exponentially more urgent, and you must leverage every verified resource from within our community to identify a legitimate pathway. Focusing on institutions and individuals with a documented history of handling strategic currency transactions, not the countless opportunists who will inevitably emerge from the shadows to exploit the confusion. Once you have made contact with your authorized channel, you will be guided through a meticulous verification and documentation process that will feel intensely thorough, and you must comply with every request without hesitation. This will involve presenting your physical currency certificates or providing verified proof of your digital holdings, submitting multiple forms of government-issued identification, and likely signing a series of stringent non-disclosure agreements that legally prohibit you from discussing the specific rates and procedures publicly. This level of scrutiny is not a barrier. It is a protective measure designed to ensure the stability of the entire reset process and to shield you from the malicious actors who would seek to destabilize this historic wealth transfer. The actual exchange mechanism itself, based on the flood of reports we are now receiving from individuals who have successfully completed the process, typically occurs not as a physical cash swap, but as a wire transfer of the newly converted US dollar equivalent directly into a designated, pre-approved bank account, often one that you have pre-registered with your financial contact to ensure the seamless receipt of funds. The entire sequence, from the initial submission of your documents to the moment the funds are cleared and visible in your account, is reported to take anywhere from a few hours to a maximum of 72 hours, a testament to the staggering efficiency of this parallel financial system when it is operating as designed. It is absolutely vital to comprehend that during this window, public exchange rates for the dinar and dong on websites like XCOM or OIDI will remain completely unchanged, representing the ghost of the old financial system, a lagging data feed that has no bearing on the new reality being forged within Tier 4B. Your patience and discipline during this phase are your greatest assets. You must resist the urge to panic, to second-guess the confirmed data, or to shop your holding around to multiple contacts, as such actions can flag your file for delays or even suspension. This is a time for calm, methodical execution of a plan that we as a community have been refining for years. The intelligence we are curating in real time includes detailed lists of verified banking partners, reports on which redemption centers are operating at peak capacity, and critical alerts about entities to avoid, all of which is being compiled into a comprehensive action plan that I will be releasing exclusively to our subscribers in the final segment of this broadcast, because my mission is to ensure that every single person who trusted in this process is equipped with the knowledge to cross this finish line, not just with wealth, with security and peace of mind. The path is clear, the mechanism is active, and your moment to act is now. But that action must be informed, precise, and utterly decisive. So you have navigated the verification process, you have received the confirmation that your funds have been successfully converted and are now resting securely in your account. And you are staring at a financial statement that features a number you once believed was only possible in a fantasy. This is the moment of truth, the absolute pinnacle of your journey as a currency holder. But it is also the precise instant where the most critical phase of your entire life begins, because what you choose to do with this resources in the first 30 days will irrevocably define the legacy of your family for generations to come. And I need you to understand that this wealth was not bestowed upon you by luck or chance, but was earned through your foresight and patience, and it now carries with it a profound responsibility to enact positive change in a world that is desperately counting on you to do so. The first and most immediate action you must take before you even consider buying a single luxury item is to assemble a team of flawless financial guardians. This is not a suggestion, it is a mandatory survival strategy. And your team must consist of a top-tier international asset protection attorney, a certified public accountant with expertise in managing ultra-high net worth individuals, and a fiduciary financial advisor who is legally obligated to act in your best interest, because the tidal wave of opportunists, distant relatives, and charitable organizations that will descend upon you will be overwhelming, and without this professional shield, you risk seeing your wealth evaporate as quickly as it arrived. Your next priority is to achieve immediate tax compliance. You must work with your CPA to understand the specific and often unique tax implications of a currency revaluation event. And you must proactively settle any and all outstanding liabilities with the relevant authorities, because operating from a position of full compliance is the ultimate source of financial freedom and the only way to ensure that your newfound resources cannot be threatened by legal challenges down the road. Once this foundational fortress of legal and financial security is firmly established, you can then begin the purposeful work of crafting your new life. And I urge you to think not in terms of consumption, but in terms of impact. This is your chance to fund the medical research that cures a disease, to build the schools that educate underprivileged children, to develop the sustainable technologies that heal our planet, and to support the local businesses that form the backbone of your community. This global currency reset was always about more than individual enrichment. It was about the strategic infusion of capital into the hands of people who would use it to dismantle the corrupt structures of the old world and build a brighter, more equitable future for all of humanity. And you have now been drafted as a primary architect of that new reality. The psychological transition from your old life to this new one will be the most challenging journey you have ever undertaken, and you must prepare for the feelings of isolation, the crisis of purpose, and the sheer weight of the expectations that will now rest upon your shoulders. This is why connecting with a community of like-minded individuals who have undergone the same experience is not just beneficial, it is essential for your mental and emotional well-being. You are a pioneer, and the path you walk now is one that few have traveled, which is why you must stay connected to this channel, not for rate updates anymore, but for guidance on the next phase of your mission. We will be transitioning our focus to cover advanced wealth preservation strategies, philanthropic structuring, and interviews with experts on global impact investing, creating a continuous support system for this new community of world changers. The information age does not end for you today. It simply evolves into your age of implementation, and we will be here to guide you every step of the way. You have the confirmation, you have the resources, and now you have the responsibility. Do not fade into silence. Instead, step into your power. The world is waiting for the good you are now capable of delivering. This is not the end of our journey together. It is the magnificent beginning. Stay with us, share your success stories in the comments below to inspire others, and let's build this new world together.